Okay, this is episode 9, and there's something very, very exciting that's happened. Koa was texting me and calling me the last 2 days. I'm going to let him tell you what has changed with our podcast.
I was confused for a second. I was like, what actually changed? I was like, I don't know. But as you can tell from the video, we got these brand new mics, and hopefully we're doing it right. We don't have Jack with us here today, so there's a good chance we're messing this all up, and hopefully it's usable audio. But yeah, these kind of are funny looking stands, and let us know if you guys like the quality of the audio on this video. And we actually got a third mic just like this, so when we get guests on, we can talk with them too.
These things are insane.
Might need a bigger table though.
I'm like, just
you can move around too, but they're kind of ridiculous
to do the podcast just because we got these mics. Like,
I feel like a legit podcaster.
I couldn't wait to talk into it. Like, we were talking, and these are like ASMR mics.
Yeah.
How crispy is the audio? See, we read your comments.
Yeah. This is for you guys right here.
We did this for you. I mean, I feel like I could understand us perfectly before, but people were like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I was like, that might be the way we talk.
Yeah. Sometimes I get finished saying something, I'm like, I don't even know if that made any sense at all.
I don't remember what I said.
Try to explain a wave or something to him, just like, did that make sense? Did I get barreled? I'm like, that was the best wave ever.
These clear that up.
Yeah.
We
can actually cut stuff out we don't want to put into. But some exciting stuff. I started taking this thing called Magic Mind, and it is actually super insane. It's right here. They sent us a bunch of it for you as well. I know you haven't tried it yet, but I've been taking it for like a week, and it literally is like, I don't need any
is in the little bottle?
Coffee or anything. I mean, I cut back on a bunch of coffee, which is supposed to help you do. But it's tons and tons of like superfood stuff. Here, you can read it. And then the founder, James, is super stoked on the podcast. He like developed that over 10 years of like working in tech, because he was like drinking so much caffeine and he had some like health issues, and then came up with that, and the thing's like super legit.
This dude sounds like he'd be our homie.
Yeah, no, he's the man.
Shout out to James.
Yeah,
we too are caffeine addicts.
Yeah, he sent us a video. But if you guys want to go get some Magic Mind, you guys can head to www.magicmind.co/Koa-Nate. We got a 20% off code for you. It's Koa-Nate. If you get the subscription, it stacks with the on-site discounts and comes with free shipping.
This is a dope. I like that it's in a little bottle too.
No, it's like a little shot. I think there's a bit of caffeine.
Like a big green juice thing. You're kind of like getting through it, and it's like taking a while.
Yeah.
These little guys, you can just shoot them.
Yeah.
No, it's over quickly.
This is like on a whole different level of like making you like.
That's cool.
I don't know how to compare it really, but all I know is I've cut back a couple coffees a day with just that, and I feel so focused in the mornings.
You taking it right in the morning, right when you wake up?
Yeah, so I'll have like a glass of lemon water, and then that, and then a cup of coffee. It's really good.
That's dope, dude.
They're sick.
Yeah, shout out to Magic Mind, the podcast's first official sponsor.
Yeah.
Stoked.
Sick.
Going places.
Yep.
Anything we can do or take to make us talk more.
Yeah, talk more.
And be more energy.
Yeah. But I'm going to put it back in the fridge.
Okay.
I don't want to leave it out here.
Keep them refrigerated.
Refrigeration.
So we had a few things. We were so psyched on our last episode to get John on, because you guys know how rare. Like, John is seen in interviews and on camera, but it's real rare to get him, like, not for us, because we see him and we have situations where we're sitting chatting with John like that all the time. But for you guys, you don't get to see maybe that side of him as comfortable as he was just sitting here and talking with me and Koa, because he's in a WSL interview setting after a heat, and it's like this big thing, or he's working with one of the companies. But I felt like that episode was cool because it was just rare view to see John sit down so chill, relaxed.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because I was like, obviously we have good conversations with just us, and we have like as friends forever. But I was like, how is it going to be like me and Nate trying to do a podcast?
Yeah.
With John on. I'm like, is it going to be weird? But it just felt like normal and like
totally normal.
Friends like as usual. And of course, he's like very good at speaking and talking and telling stories, and explaining things.
And that was part of, like, when we talked about starting this podcast, that's exactly what we talked about. We were like, dude, we're having these conversations anyway. Like, we're sitting down chilling, and a lot of our stuff with our friends and even just each other would turn into these in-depth conversations about progression in big wave surfing or doing this or something happening in the sport. And we were like, why not just like turn our sit down hangouts into conversations?
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's just worked out so epic.
And people love to see it too. Look at these mics.
And now we're the most official podcasters on the planet.
Ever on the planet.
You're going to hear hard P's with these mics. Every lisp, every mispronunciation. So in the last maybe it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I don't remember, I got so drunk the day, but we had the Filmers Cup.
Oh my god, in memory of Larry Haynes.
In memory of Larry
Haynes. The ultimate
Haynes.
filmer of all filmers, dude.
So Larry Haynes, if you guys didn't know, we grew up here on North Shore, and there's always been certain like legendary cinematographers around that were dedicated to filming surfing. We grew up and have always known Larry. Like he's a lot older than us, so he's just been around forever. And I don't think I've ever seen like a pipe swell where he wasn't out there.
No.
Out there, whether he was working for the contest and spending 8 hours on the ski, or not working for anyone. Yeah. He was out there just filming because he loved footage, and he would just coupled to, for the few years I didn't see any of his clips. Yeah, I'm claiming Larry has one of the craziest vaults of pipeline footage ever.
Oh, he has the craziest vault of all time for sure.
The last few years, he was like more getting clips out to us. I felt like he was like sending people clips more with social media, and he would post a few. But before, there was like a 10-year period where like Larry filmed every crazy pipe swell, and those are on hard drives somewhere.
Yeah, he's filmed every pipe contest. That guy has saved just as many people's lives as lifeguards too.
The first guy there often when someone falls and gets injured is the guy sitting with the camera filming it. And so, like you said, he's saved many lives, and not just here in Hawaii. Do you remember our Mavs trip?
Oh my God, yeah.
He's not even on a ski. He's swimming at Mavs, barking like a seal.
That was our first time to Mavericks.
Yeah.
Me and you. And you can tell the story.
Well, like you said, first time to Mavericks, we were just tripping. We're like, oh my God, we're going to Mavericks, like this notorious wave for Hawaiians. Like, it's killed multiple surfers from Hawaii. And so for the Hawaiian big wave guys to go over there, like for our first time, we felt like it was a big deal. We get over there, and the wave is just as intimidating, as gnarly as it looks. It's in this murky brown water in Northern California where there's just notorious great whites everywhere.
The biggest sharks on the planet.
And we pull up, and I think it was right when we pulled up in the morning, we hear barking, like not like a dog, but like a seal. Like, arr, arr, arr. And we're like, what? Larry Haynes is not on a jet ski. He's swimming in the channel of Mavericks. Not just swimming, but barking like a seal.
Yeah.
And we were like, Larry, get on a ski. Get out of there. He just goggles on like, nah, in a full suit, flippers, big camera, just filming water.
Dude, what a legend. That was so crazy.
It was so dope. I seen him too in Scotland. Thurso, the most northern part of Scotland where they used to have the QS event. The guy was doing 8-hour comp days in the water.
Oh my God. How cold was it?
Freezing. Like totally geared up, but I don't care how much gear you have on. If you do 8 hours,
dude,
it's not.
I get cold here at Waimea in just like the warmest water ever. Yeah, he was a legend.
So we had the Filmers Cup. We did it last year, which is basically us, the surfers, film the filmers, and we made a competition for them sponsored by Paisel Surfboards. The winner gets a custom Paisel, and in memory of Larry Haynes.
Yeah. So the Filmers Cup is we get all our filmers down there, and we make them drink heavily.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of drinking.
Explain the rules.
So the rules are we get it's like a CT structured format. There's 2-man heats, elimination, all the way to the final. I don't know how many people we had this year. Maybe like 8 or 10?
Yeah, it seemed like 10 maybe.
10? But before every heat, they have to shotgun a beer. Mm-hmm. Or we had what are those things called?
We had
a beer bong.
There's a beer bong with a little skull on it.
They're called a beer bong. And before every heat, each competitor had to shotgun a beer, and if they didn't finish their shotgun, we're making them do another one. So I didn't see one filmer finish their shotgun on the first one.
We kind of had to get loose with that rule because the first the first heat, remember, they had to do double.
Yeah.
So much foam came out. We're like, refill it, do it again. They chug another one, foam again, and we just are like shaking our heads at that. We can't help them.
No,
but they were already obliterated.
It went from one beer, and then every heat, everyone was slamming 2 beers and like, oh, I can't do it. Yeah. Or some of them were animals about it, but some of them were like, oh, I'm gonna black out or whatever.
Yeah.
But we had an MVP of the most drunk. I think his name was Owen. I've never met him before.
So that day, Owen DMs me. He hears about the Filmers Cup. He DMs me and he goes, yo, I want to enter the Filmers Cup. I'm a filmer. Like, can I come down? I'm like, dude, show up. I texted the big group. I said, does anyone know this guy? They're like, oh, no. I said, dude, show up. Homie's from Australia. And he comes down, and he just starts putting him back. And so the filmers are surfing, and it's perfect sandbar day. And if they do a runaround because the current was bad, if they touch the beach, you have to run a beer down, and they have to chug it before they go back out. So everyone's getting hammered. But like all of a sudden, this guy, he's good. He's cruising. He's ripping too. We were like, oh shit, we put him in the event and like we don't even know him. And he's like, you know, because we want Jack to win or like Eric to win. Like we have our favorites or Zord or like, and this guy starts ripping. And we're like, oh shoot, we got a contender here. By midday, homie fully blacks out.
Blacked out. We had to call his heat off because he was so drunk. He was ripping, and we're like, oh, this guy needs more alcohol because he's surfing too good. And then
that was it.
Proceeded to get blacked out. And then one of his heats, he came into the beach and someone ran him a beer, and he like slammed the beer and then couldn't make it off the stand again. Was falling over. I think there's clips of it somewhere. I filmed it on the Handycam. But falling over his leash, face planting on the sand, trying to get out. I remember seeing him paddling out, and he just goes to duck dive and just loses his board behind him, and then comes up like gasping for air, like, and we're like, call it, call it,
get a medic in there.
He's done.
I've never been so psyched to see someone blacked out.
He was a legend.
So, how did your filmer do? Jack Germain.
Jack Germain did. So he didn't do very good. I think he was definitely a contender to win it. Yeah. But I don't think he made it to the final because we were drinking a lot too. So there's a lot of alcohol consumption. But
Jack
I remember
hungover.
Oh no, he was blown. I think he partied like all night the night before.
It was.
And he got down there and was just like a shell. Like he should have just been in bed.
Yeah.
But we forced him out of bed. And then he got hammered too, and then folded, and then didn't make it. But like the hungover fold, not like the Owen fold. Like,
there's certain guys, like some of our filmers, like they embody what the event is about, right? Like with their partying and their filming, and they party and they show up for the day of filming. Yeah. And like Eric Knudsen is one of those guys. Yeah. He can just handle his alcohol, and he shows up, he films, and he freaking rips on a surfboard.
The two-time
champion. He ended up winning the event, and so Jack is one of those too. Like he's a party animal. And he rips surfing.
There's like the definition of Filmers Cup is like Jack Eric.
Yeah.
Like they get hammered and they surf good and they party.
And so I was bummed to see Jack eliminated.
Yeah,
he wasn't filmer.
Yeah,
Zord got
How did
eliminated.
he do? How did Zord do?
Zord lost to Owen.
Oh, in the early rounds.
In the heat before Owen blacked out.
Oh, bummer.
So devastating. One heat more. Owen was still a little too on, I think.
Dude, I was tripping on how good that guy surfed because I've never met him in my life. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. And the best part was we got jerseys this year. Each year we've gotten more official. And so the jerseys, if you guys, we'll find some clips. We were filming, but we were, as the surfers, probably not the best filmers. Because we were also drinking. Yeah. And so the clips are probably horrendous, but we do have some. We'll try and put them up here for you guys to see. But
yeah, we'll throw some up. I have something funny. The whole time, the McConaughey came down, set up his DJ gear, and started DJing. And somehow Nate gets a microphone and doesn't let the thing go all day. Yeah. And there would be like a song playing, and you would just hear in the background of the song, like, poof, poof, poof. And you'd hear, Nate would have the microphone in his hand, and it was just closed his mouth. He was just singing the beat, like doosh, doosh. And then one time he started going, money, power, money, power, money, power. like you were rapping or like singing on the song.
Oh my god, I got so drunk, dude. And I kept just cracking up to myself saying the filmer's motto and what they live by is money and power.
That's all they care about.
That's all they care about. It was making me laugh. I went full pro announcer mode on that event.
Yeah, no, you did really well. That was just a funny part of your whole announcing.
Yeah, and like I was saying, so Koa brings his Jaws jersey down.
Yeah.
I bring my Jaws jersey. So after we surf an event like the Jaws Invitational or like the Cape Fear, John surfs his event, they let you have your jersey. And so I actually called John on my way down. I'm like, dude, I know it's kind of like, I don't know, can we borrow your like Jeep leader jersey, like the one you won your world title in? And he's like, oh, no worries. Like, guy has multiple of them. He's like, here you go. And we take that down. So we have John's yellow leaders jersey, my Jaws Invitational jersey, your Jaws Invitational jersey, and the Cape Fear Red Bull jersey. And so we have,
like, you won Cape Fear in.
Yeah, like the filmers out in like small shitty beach break. They're absolutely hammered, and they're in the jerseys of like the most hardcore events in surfing history.
They're in John's Jeep leader.
Eric's in John's like world title jersey. It was just all time.
It was fun. Paizel had bought like 500 hot dogs or something this time because it's been like an ongoing joke of, like World Glizzy League or something they're calling it. Yeah. And dude, he bought so many hot dogs. And the first thing he does, there are packs of like 50, drops the whole thing in the sand, and then runs down. Did you see it?
It was
ran down to the water, rinses all these gross ass hot dogs off, and then throws them on the grill, still all sandy.
All sandy and now covered in ocean water.
Every single person ate one.
Yeah, people were like, whatever.
It's like, I didn't have one. That was a good time though. That was really fun.
I feel like our boy Larry would have been psyched.
God, I wish. It's so sad. He was such a good person, dude. Every time I seen him out in the water, he was smiling, and every time he got a wave, he'd be like so stoked that you got a good wave.
Water filmers and cinematographers are just a different breed. Like think about some of the gnarly guys like Daniel Russo.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, loves the podcast.
We gotta get him on.
He wants to come on.
Oh,
he loves it. He watches every episode.
We could tell him no filter. Just come on and talk. Whatever you want. Canceled. Wait, look, you can click someone's mic off right here.
Mute.
Yeah. That would be funny to have him on.
Yeah.
We should totally bring him on. But Larry was always just so happy, dude. Every time I saw him anywhere, surfing, like stand-up paddling Sunset or in the water at Pipe or at Mavericks, acting like a seal.
Crazy, dude.
It's just tragic. It's
and
really
like,
sad.
A lot of times, the water guys, the really good ones, they sit in the gnarliest places. I've seen a video clip, or maybe it was a photo sequence of Larry. We'll put up the photo for those who are watching. For those of you listening, it was in Tahiti at Chopes. Larry they tread water to get their body out of the water to get the clip a little higher. Mm. And so I've only really seen like him and Russo do it really well. Yeah. Where they can get half their body up out of the water just using their fins and kicking and holding a big red housing. He's shooting this wave. I think it's Manoa on the wave. Not sure about that. We'll have to look at the photo again. But it's a 15-foot Chopes wave, like full toe wave, super gnarly. He does not stop rolling. He doesn't swim under. A lot of the newer guys, dude, they swim under so early, and they're dangerous.
And they get in the way, yeah.
They put their camera, they dive under and leave their camera. Like Jamie got knocked out by a guy swimming away from the wave, and they turn their head away to get the shot, right? Yeah. And they swim under, and they leave the camera housings right on the surface. But we'll get to that.
Basically just hitting a rock.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just like pieces of metal.
Larry continues to shoot and goes over the falls on like this 15-footer in the lip. That dedicated. He could have been on the top, and he probably
so
would have still
legendary.
been trying to shoot, like down over the guy's head in the barrel. And I heard he just came back out so psyched. And I saw Russo do the same thing out
Yeah,
there.
I've seen Russo do that, but dude, those guys are straight up athletes.
Yeah, dedicated.
Whether like they train or not, to swim for 8 hours is one thing. To swim, like, okay, so even if I go jump in the water and go body surf with fins on, like I'm not very used to it. I come out and my calves are like burning.
Yeah.
My quads are feeling like they're gonna cramp up.
Yep.
Dude, those guys will go out there for 8 hours in massive waves that we're surfing and get smoked on them, holding their cameras, just using all legs all day.
And only the ones that do that are the ones who get the best shots.
Yeah, well,
Like-
there's like a tier, there's like a group of the old school filmers, like including Larry, like Russo, those guys that are just so gnarly, like swim it backdoor on the gnarliest day, or
And because they're so knowledgeable, they know how to get out of the way too.
yeah, I've never seen them ever in the way, or
They
like
never
close.
like hit a surfer or hurt a surfer.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the newer guys or just guys that will go buy a camera and swim out with no ocean knowledge. Most of these
Yeah.
guys, they're surfers. They grew up in the ocean from raised being in the water. They're watermen themselves.
Yeah,
Now it's like anyone can grab a camera and swim out and try to do something at pipe.
Yeah.
And they get in the way. They crowd together. They all huddle together.
Yeah.
And they foam ball. At pipe, it's worse than anywhere. They foam ball the
So
end of
bad.
the wave. And in that foam ball is a bunch of housings.
it's so bad, so dangerous.
And it's this weird thing, right? Because we're like, hey, can I get my clip?
Yeah.
But at the same
fuck out of the
yeah,
way.
like, can you move? But also, can I get my clip? Like,
No, dude, I countless times. I know you've done it too, where you just are coming out of the barrel at pipe and you just go clunk. You're like, what was that? You're like, clearly it was a filmer.
nobody ever admits it.
Oh yeah, they'll never be like, that wasn't me.
You're like, look,
who did I hit?
I'm worried. Are you hurt?
They're just
Didn't
like
hit me.
bleeding out of their leg. They just keep it underwater. They're like, no one's gonna see this. No one's gonna see this.
No,
It was not me. It was not me.
But how will they know?
Nobody's gonna know. Wait, when did Jamie get knocked out? Is this a recent thing or
This
in
was
the past?
last year, I think it was.
Clearly, it was in the
well,
past, but
it was actually right when he started wearing his helmet.
oh shit, he had his
That
helmet
was
on.
the cause. No, that was the cause of him wearing his helmet. Was he's had a few incidents, but I'm pretty sure is what he was saying. He fell on a drop and he fell backwards as he landed on an airdrop or something. He fell backwards, and a guy. He's pretty sure he said a guy had been swimming under. They looked at the land angle, and just below the surface was the housing, and it hit the back of his head, and then he knocked out. He said, and then came to later in the beatdown, and was like awake enough after to swim up and come in, and someone might have helped him in, but after that, like he was super pissed, right? Because he's like,
As he would be anyway.
he's like looking for the
Almost
guy,
died.
like, yeah, who did that? Like, why were you there? And then whatever, no one obviously admitted to it, or he couldn't figure it out. But I swear that was when he started wearing the helmet.
because of that. Mm-hmm. What do you think about helmets? You ever gonna wear one?
I don't know. Like, you see, so we've both seen it. The person hits their head and they start wearing a helmet. Mm-hmm. But that's the usual push for someone to put the helmet on.
Yeah.
For me, and people will say, oh, there's different helmets that don't block your ears or whatever. It's not just the blocking of the ears, which is huge as well. For me, it seems like this. The helmet blocks your senses. It is clamped on your head, not just over your ears, which would block your equilibrium and your balance. To me, it does. But something clamped onto your head, it just feels bad. Like, even when I was in Ireland, I couldn't keep the hood up. I would pull the hood off when I was catching waves, pull it on when there was a lull, because I couldn't stand anything clamped on my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if I start wearing a helmet, is it going to be the cause of an injury versus preventing an injury? It's a give and take, right?
Yeah, 'cause
Is it important enough to start wearing? Like, what's the risk versus reward if it just by wearing it you cause yourself to hit your head on the reef?
Yeah, because it puts you in such a bad spot. You can't surf
And-
at your
and
level of
your-
surfing.
Your balance isn't there, right? Like, we've learned to balance underwater. How many times have you put
Yeah.
your hand out completely blind with your eyes closed, knowing the reef was going to be there?
Yeah. So
You
many
have those
times.
reflexes. I have the reflexes. But something over your head, is that going to block that?
Yeah. I tried on someone's helmet not long ago, just out at Pipe. I think it was Koa Smith's. And it fit. Like, I put it on, it fit. It was definitely uncomfortable, just like a helmet. By the way, I grew up. I had to wear a helmet my whole life when I was a kid. And I hated it. I hated it so bad because I was like, it was before helmets were even cool. And I was a young teenager wanting to just be cool surfer. And
it's like important in that time. Look at that age. It's really important to be like looking cool.
Yeah, you're like a teenager on North Shore. You want to be cool. But whatever, I was forced to wear one up until I was like 16 years old. But I remember I put on Koa Smith's not long ago at Backdoor. And for a helmet, I think it fit good. Like, we must have had the same size head or whatever, same size. And I went on a little backdoor wave, pulled in, and then kind of it just closed out. So I kind of jumped forward to jump off and like try to, you spin out of a wave, like you do a little roll when you hit the water. I went, as soon as I hit the water, I kind of hit it like on my face, and the helmet just went with water and just yanked my neck.
Oh,
and
my
I
God.
couldn't spin, like a tiny wave, and then just went straight over the falls onto the reef. I was like,
oh
get
my
this
gosh.
thing off of me, dude.
That's crazy. The water went under and ballooned like a little sea anchor.
Yeah, like it just caught the water. I don't know if it happens all the time, but it just was my luck or something, but just ballooned me like straight up. And I have not a great neck. So it yanked it. It just kind of scared me away from it. Like, damn, like I know like we probably should with the waves we surf, but it does impair you so much. It's like kind of learning to surf again.
That's super crazy. And like thinking about it, you have more surface area on your head. So even if you, like you said, you dove where normally you would kick out the back, your little
like
seal dive,
roll, yeah.
you might not get the penetration on the water because of the larger surface area or the smoothness of the surface area of the helmet.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of factors.
And there's been a few guys we've seen who didn't hit their head but started wearing a helmet just to be safer, and they smashed their head on the reef.
Yeah.
With the helmet, break their helmet, still get a traumatic brain injury. And that the only change was like they put the helmet on and maybe I don't know if they thought this or what, but you might think I put the helmet on and I'm safe because I can hit my head, Yeah. But you can still break your neck. I don't know. I'm not advising to not wear a helmet. Or if you can deal with it.
It's just our opinion.
It's probably is safer in a way, but to me, the balancing act would be, is wearing this helmet going to cause me to fall more than I normally would, and therefore is there a higher risk of putting the helmet on, and wearing it? You got to like balance those things out.
It's a tricky thing. I mean, me and you definitely don't wear them, so that's why I was curious if you're ever thinking about wearing them. It's really been bothering me out at Pipe, even though Pipe's been so bad for so long. You broke your back at the perfect time, by the way, besides missing the eddy.
Yeah, dude,
actually not perfect time. Yeah.
I
forgot about that. But
it's weird though because February 0 waves,
0,
not a single pipe swell.
It's been the worst run of winter. Here, we can get into that, but I wanted to get into talking about these people now because Pipe is such a crowded place. The crowd, we call it like the helmet gang. People just their skill level is very low, and not saying we don't promote people surfing Pipe because clearly we put out videos and stuff and make it look really fun and cool, and like getting barreled is awesome. But there is a group of people that just throw a helmet on, throw a padded suit on with no skill level, buy a surfboard, and then just paddle their way out there and just get in such the way. Like, it is crazy that the confidence these things give people that shouldn't be wearing, like, even out there in the first place.
It is seriously mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like, I would never... I may have said this on here before, or it might have been somewhere else, but I'm never going to show up to the mountain and go on the triple black diamond, Yeah. Like, I know my level is not there. I'm going to stay on what's fun for me and what's safe for me. But these guys at Pipe, and a lot of, like, the younger kids, they're skipping years of learning Pipe. They just go right out and sit right in the way.
Yeah.
And it's like... And then some of them like will even paddle as if you are gonna back out for them. When like you're like, what? Where did the tier go? Like, we sat at Gums for like 4 years.
Yeah. Before
we moved to the inside of Pipe, and there we were terrified of ever being in anyone's way. Terrified of it. And
It's
so
like
we
the worst
moved
thing you
out,
could
and
do.
over what 15 years, we like have our position now where we are in the lineup at pipe, and these guys will come out, sit in the middle of the pack, think they're invincible because they got a helmet on, and say, "Oh, guy behind me, I don't care. Throw my board." They bail their boards like it's just no problem, not caring who's behind them because they're safe in their helmet from getting hit in the head with a board.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, it just kind of dawned on me, like when we were growing up, we had to sit in the channel, whatever, because of the people that regulated it, the older generation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think our generation has got a little bit soft, and we've been restricted by sponsors on being like an asshole, I guess. Not even being an asshole, but just being like regulating, like telling someone who comes out there to beat it.
Yes.
You know, whereas like, I don't know, it's like it could be somewhat our fault because like we're 29 years old. You're gonna be 29. Like we should be out there being like, no, you cannot surf out here. But then there's a win-lose. Like that makes a lot of people look at us differently. Like these
totally
bad enforcer people. So it's like, it's where do you draw the line on how nice you can be?
Yeah.
You know, because at a certain point, it's putting people's lives in danger.
Totally. I agree. Our generation definitely softer than the generation before as far as that whole hierarchy, but that is partly due to also to every single person and a camera in their hand pointing it at you.
Yeah,
you don't see guys getting slapped in the water anymore or fights on the beach.
Yeah.
And main part of that is just everybody is there ready to post it on Instagram and ready with a lawyer and a lawsuit.
Yeah, literally.
And they're ready to DM your sponsors. I've been on trips where altercations happened, not necessarily with me, but people around. And guys are, the first thing they do is, how can I ruin this person's career because they pissed me off?
Yeah.
I'm going to write an email to their sponsor, tell them they're the worst person ever. Tell them they're acting this way and that way. And then that whole situation is just a little micro at pipe. Like it's like, that's pipe in a nutshell and all over the world now. It's just that, it's that way.
It's just different, I guess.
And you see some of the older guys, I've seen guys like tell the kids like a little bit, like tell them in an articulate way and nicely, just is not the same effect.
No, they don't listen.
No.
I don't get it. Like,
you would think they're like, okay, this guy knows he's surfed pipe 30 years. He's telling me I'm messing up. I'm in the wrong spot. To look around at my surroundings. If you just started surfing pipe for a year, 2 years, you have no place in the lineup. If you look around you and you see Jamie, Koa, me, John, you're in the wrong place if you've been surfing pipe for 2 years.
Yeah, if you go in a circle and see that group of people, you're on the wrong part of the reef.
You're on the wrong part of the reef.
Yeah.
Like you need to go back to the side. And this is what's also crazy is because we took that route and learning and surfing pipe the way we did, of taking the time, because we were afraid of being in the way. We were afraid of being that guy to the older generation. Mm-hmm. We didn't want to get slapped or screamed at or yelled at.
Yeah.
It caused us to learn every single aspect of pipe, right? We know the inside bar. We know the wide set. We know backdoor. We know ain't spool, because once we got a little more brave, we would go around the main guys and sit on the ain't spool. And you learn every single, we know the second reef, we know the inside ledge. You learn everything because it's a stepping stone moving up. So
yeah, and that's why none of us are ever in the way of anyone, no matter where we put ourselves, because we know where to be and we've spent. You know
the reef. Those guys have no idea.
Yeah, they just get out there and they're like, I'm gonna be a pipe surfer, just like that's it. I don't care what I have to do.
No,
whose way I go.
And I feel like it's happening all over the world.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and then there's the thing, like, who's to blame? Like, is it us making surfing fun and cool? And
it might be us.
Yeah, like, I don't know. But this could be our chance to make it right. So for whoever's listening, like, if you go to a certain spot that you, like, if you have to think about being like, if you have to think like, should I go out there? Or maybe I should stay on the beach? Like, that's your answer. If you have to think about being, like, having the skill level to go out there, like,
100%.
that is your answer.
When in doubt,
don't go out.
We've been told that our whole lives. That's like every lifeguard has like said that to us multiple times. Like,
Well, we had to learn the hard way with that too.
yeah, we
tried to go out to pipe when we were like 13.
But we were like, I'm not sure we had enough doubt in us. That was the problem.
We thought we
the
were
doubt wasn't there to warn us.
We were unstoppable at that point.
We're gonna get out there.
We're gonna get out there and
Not make it out.
No, we're gonna get rescued by the lifeguards. We're like, what are you doing? It's fucking 20-foot pipe.
Yeah, like why? Sorry.
That was a lot of fun though. Learning.
Yeah.
Learned part of the reef.
Yes.
And we got yelled at.
And we got yelled at a lot of times.
Something happened with one of those cameras.
I see you record on both of them.
So yeah, it made a weird noise.
So I don't know which one went off.
We got 3 cameras kind of all in the same spot. Why doesn't Rode Microphones sponsor us?
Rode
They got some
Microphones. If
logos
you're out there
everywhere.
or you work for Rode Microphones, please sponsor our new podcast.
Drop a comment. Subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Spotify and Apple with our new microphones.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we said that. Oh, we did say that on the last one. We're now totally official with our microphones, but
Yeah,
not just our microphones, but for those of you that are not watching on YouTube, we are on Spotify and Apple and every platform there is for a podcast.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
We're on more than that?
I think that Libsyn thing puts them out everywhere.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was more platforms for it.
I think the Libsyn itself is a platform itself as well.
Oh, you can go on there and listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. We got to get Bert on here eventually.
Bert is super psyched.
Yeah.
He wrote me yesterday, said he watched the one with John, and he was super fired up. He's like, you guys did a great job.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool to get him on.
Yeah, he's fired up. Next time he's in Hawaii, we'll have him on. We got to get him in the water as well. We put him through a workout last time, and next time we'll get him in the water.
Oh, what about the workout we just went through that you put us through?
Which one?
The field one. You're saying all the funny photos of everyone. I'm like, send a photo of you, and you're like, I don't got a funny photo of me.
I try.
You know
I
you
just
make the
look
worst
cool,
workout
calm,
faces.
collected in every workout shot. So I've been filming like all the workouts I've been doing. So here and there I'll film a workout.
Oh, you put that out?
No, I didn't put it out except on Instagram. But in the last like 3 weeks, I just told Zord, hey, we're filming for this little project, but I was like, let's just show like how much I actually train, like show every workout, film every workout. So we've been filming a ton. And in that, we've captured incredible content of Koa and whoever else was in the workout, and just the absolute suffering that goes on in the heat. Just the worst workout faces. Of course, I'm in charge of the footage editing. I'm going to screenshot those and post them on my story, cropped in the worst way possible.
So
Did I put
dirty.
the saturation up? Maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say they look edited, or am I just in the field getting sunburned? So for what we're talking about is there's a school, the elementary school has this massive field right across from Pipeline, where we all went to school, and Nate comes up with these crazy workout ideas for these field exercises. Like he'll get a sled and like 15 plates and put them on like 5 sleds, and we all just push them across the field and then do thrusters in like the grass and the hot ass sun, and then he'll film it and then get the best photos, like funny looking photos of us, and just post them all over social media. That one looks so bad of me.
It's so bad. I don't know why. Like your hair is fluffed out. You're
I look
super
like I
red.
have an afro.
Yeah, your afro is like flaring. I think it
I
was
gotta
just
get a haircut.
It was heat exposure at that point.
And then the sled looks like it's directly under me.
That was the worst part. I
That-
forgot. Like the sled pull is like, and you're doing squats.
God.
I did you dirty on that one.
Yeah, you did me dirty. And then Jack decided to repost it too recently. He got all psyched on it. God. That was a rough workout. So I think the workout was, how long is that field? Like a quarter mile or across?
4 laps is a mile. So across one way,
Yeah, it'd be like,
I don't know.
oh, no, it wouldn't be near that.
I don't know, but it feels extremely far when you're pulling 165 pounds behind you after running a mile and doing 25 thrusters with 70 pounds of weight.
Yeah, and then Nate put this thing in there. If you stopped pulling your sled, you had to drop down and do 20 burpees.
Yeah, a penalty if your sled stops for a second. And upon footage review, Jack may have had a stop in there. And so he left burpees out on the field.
He's got to get in here and do 20 burpees. I wish he was here right now. We'd make him do them right there.
In full spirit of Filmers Cup style, Jack is partying right now.
Yeah, we should do a podcast where we just get hammered and drink beers.
Let's do that.
We got 3 mics, so we got another setup for this for guests. I don't know where this stupid thing's going to go, though.
Maybe we can put them under. And
yeah, I was thinking that, well, I don't know.
For those listening, we're talking about the mics. They're like on this big spider arm.
Yeah, look how far they go.
That's like... Wow. That's insane. Sorry, what was that you said?
What did you guys say over there?
Let's make a plan to do it. And
we've made a lot of plans on here that we haven't really gone through with.
You know what?
Wave of the Winter.
This is the Idea Factory.
XXL.
You guys are part of our big ideas.
Yeah. Leave a comment with your ideas.
We want to hear your thoughts. We'll steal them and make them a business of our own.
We'll give you no credit whatsoever.
30 rack of beer each.
Yeah.
Sit here, we'll film a pod, and we'll put some beers down and see what happens.
Be sick. Who could we get on here? We could just have a bunch of people on and just switch out on the mics.
Yeah, I saw a couple podcasts that did that where it was just the group of friends hanging out, and the mics were just kind of center stage.
Just chilling.
Yeah. And...
Oh, Rogan and...
Yeah.
Bert and them, right?
One, I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's on Rogan's main one or a different thing.
Uh-huh.
One of them they do, literally, they sit down and they drink, I think it's Busch Light. And they have like something like that, like 200 beers or something. The last one I saw, they're drinking and filming and hanging out. And it's him and all the comedians, right?
Okay,
they all are doing
so fun.
Yeah, comedy. By the end of the one, homie was on the ground sleeping in a pile of beers. He passed out drunk, and Joe and the rest of the guys are still drinking, cursing, and he's just sleeping on the floor. Like, they didn't stop for him or pull him out or nothing.
That is such a fun idea.
That's so fun.
We'd have to do that. That
Yeah.
should be one of our next podcasts.
Yeah.
We got to get a couple more guests on, too.
Yeah, we will. But Tour Year just started, so everyone's off in Portugal right now, and it looks like it's firing. The Wave, they hold the event
shit, it looks so
at
good.
Super Tubes. Just as good as the beach rig gets. The bar looks insane right now. I wish the comp period had already started because it looks like it was like 8 foot.
I saw a wave of Idolo, I think.
Yep.
Drainer.
It's like
such
6
a good
foot
wave.
solid barrel.
Yeah.
Insane.
I was like, where are the waves here on North Shore?
Where were we?
Gone, dude.
Gone. But there is something coming, but it looks like weird west wind. It's
Straight
such a weird
west wind.
season.
This has by far been so 2 of the craziest days I've ever seen in my life. The Eddy and the last day of the shootout, probably the best pipeline I've ever seen. Were this year, but other than that, I would say it's been the worst winter here on North Shore for waves.
Freakishly bad.
So bad. The winds today is finally a day that the wind's stopping 30 knots.
Listen to me. It's snowing in LA right now. Things are changing.
Global freezing.
Global freezing. There was a global warming. You're fired. It's global freezing right now. Everywhere's dumping snow.
Dude, I want to go snowboard so
Are you
bad.
going to go?
Let's go. You don't want to go.
I just
Go
want to
right.
surf, but there's no waves.
There's no waves, dude.
Everyone went. Ivan went to Japan. He said it was insane.
It looks so fun.
Everyone
Japan
went to
snow
Japan.
looks so good. I haven't gone snowboarding in 4 years.
What do we do?
Let's go.
Where?
Anywhere. Everywhere is like 8
Mammoth
feet
is
of powder.
dumping.
Yeah, I heard people were like kind of in trouble over there in California, like snowed in, no food, no power for like 5-6 days.
People in California have no food and no power.
Yeah.
That's happening?
Yeah.
I didn't even think that was possible over there.
Yeah, I guess this is like the record snow is like these little towns that aren't used to it are getting like so messed up. What are you cracking up
that
about?
sucks for them. But that just seems crazy. Like,
Well, it is California.
yeah.
They're pretty stupid. Not the people, the government. All right.
All right, we're gonna end it there.
That'll be the podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna end it there on they them.
Another great podcast. Let us know how you like the new mics. Like, subscribe, and we'll be back.
Yeah, check us out on Apple and Spotify and the other podcasting platforms. Subscribe to the channel.
Out.
You.
ASMR.